I was talking with formerly of Madison, now of Nashville, the band Daniel and the Lion. And these guys are totally awesome, fun guys, Magic players, and they scheduled their tour around the PTQ season.
Yeah, there you go.
And we're chasing down the PTQs with a little break to go to Gen Con, where they were the official band of Gen Con.
Nice.
And, you know, there was the Gen Con Championships. In order to play in it, you had to win, like, the Legacy Championship, or the Vintage Championship, or the Sealed Championship, or the Standard Championship, etc., etc. And we had people like Melissa DeTora, Ben Rasmussen, others who were in that championship. 2 members of the band made it into the championship.
Nice.
So...
That's awesome.
Yeah, so they won 2 of the major tournaments at Gen Con. And they actually also had this thing where they had crowns, and when they had their crown on, you could battle them, and if you beat all members of the band, you got a prize. They just were walking around.
That's cool.
And I think the match is just started, the game of this is just starting for game 2.
Erik Carson's musical act is called Self-Proclaimed Narcissist. I believe that's what
Awesome.
he's wearing that shirt there. Can't quite see the whole thing, but that is the name of it. He described it as I think he said it was folk punk.
Awesome.
Which I'm gonna check it out when I can,
Cool.
because it sounds like an interesting style of music.
If you're interested in Daniel and the Lion, the official band for Gen Con, awesome Magic guys, they are DATL.com or DATLband.com.
I'm sure if you Google Daniel and the Lion.
Well, actually, that might be hard because of the reference there.
Yeah. Just go to Adrian Sullivan's Facebook page, and I'm sure he's written about them or linked them at some point.
Okay, it's DATLband.com.
There you go.
You can see an awesome picture of Jimmy Linville, the lead singer, being force choked out by Darth Vader.
So it looks like Michael has kept on 7. Erik is going to 6 here. Down a game, needs to sculpt a good opener here to fight the No and Tell deck. Now, as we mentioned, Erik has already played against and defeated another No and Tell opponent in this tournament, on camera actually. I believe it was round 5. His opponent, however, was playing the Petals of Insight version of Show and Tell Omniscience, and you know, the Storm version, you can call it that, I suppose. Michael is on a slightly different version, more recent, and it plays Academy Rector. And once that Academy Rector dies, he finds Omniscience. So, very effective way to get his enchantment into play around counter spells. If he can resolve the Academy Rector, he's in great shape, because he has ways of sacrificing it himself. He has ways, of course, an opponent will tend to attack, you know, unless, depending on the deck, and Erik's deck does attack.
And we have turn 1 land versus turn 1 land, and there's going to be a fetch right away. Remember that Michael's deck, because it has this black base, gets to run Cabal Therapy. If you have not played decks with Cabal Therapy before, or you've not played against Cabal Therapy, I'm guessing you've dodged Dredge for a while.
Yeah. Lotus Petal. Whew, that was
A Ponder.
Ponder from Michael. Looked like it was almost an accidental brainstorm. Not that that would have been that far off, but he meant to cast Ponder, and so that's what he manages to correct himself, play the Ponder. He's considering his options here, looking at his hand, I believe, and trying to decide whether he wants to keep that Ponder.
He was able to avoid the misclick, just barely.
Yeah, pretty much.
Put some cards back, does not shuffle, draws from the Ponder, says go. End of turn Brainstorm. We were talking earlier today about Brainstorm and the ideal brainstorms. Sometimes you just don't have time for ideal brainstorms. This could be one of those moments. It's better to use Brainstorm in a different way than Erik is using it if you're trying to make your Brainstorm as good as possible. But you know what? You don't always have that luxury. No and Tell is a deck that potentially next turn Michael could be putting a show and tell onto the stack. And Erik, he just has to make sure that he uses his mana efficiently so it doesn't go wrong for him.
Yeah, he needs to have an answer for it.
Erik here with no fetch land. That means his Brainstorm was basically just a fancy Whisper of the Muse.
Erik thinking here. Looks like he wants to play something. Can't quite see what it is. It's a surgical extraction.
Wow.
Surgical extraction on Ponder, and he was talking to me earlier about that because he played that in his earlier round again against Snow and Tell, and I was telling him, you know, that we were questioning it a little bit. He had surgically extracted Brainstorm at the time. He said he kind of just wanted to look at his opponent's hand.
Okay.
And
look at that. Yep.
Okay. Apparently we need to be quieter.
Yep. The room is emptying out, making it harder for us to be able to hide what's happening. Cavern of Souls, Brainstorm, Surgical Extraction,
Academy Rector, Force. And is that everything? Was it just 6 cards or was it 7?
Looks like 6.
Yeah, we definitely. If there's another card beyond the Force, we can't see it. No, that's it. Okay. Yes, there was just the Force, Extraction, a Rector, Cavern, and Brainstorm. Ponders being extracted here by Erik Carson. So what he said was he kind of just wanted to see his opponent's hand. He also casts it, if you notice, after Michael resolves Ponder, right?
Right.
So Michael kept his Ponder. So Erik says, I'm going to make you shuffle. You know, I'm going to make you shuffle away what you kept on top. So he's using that as ways to...
Yeah, and if the game goes longer, there are less library manipulation spells available for Michael to help sculpt his draw. I still feel a little bit dubious about it, but, you know, that's okay.
I think at least as long as he's got an explanation for it, I'm fine with it. You know, if he's like, I don't know why I play it, that's something, you know, that's the problem. But I thought he had pretty good logic. Wants to see his opponent's hand, can wreck his opponent just kept 2 cards on top with Ponder. He can get rid of those, so, you know, forcing the shuffle. And he does it all for the cost of 0 mana, so...
You can see Michael Svien is rocking the Region Supplies sleeves. Legion Supplies has some awesome sleeves. I love those ones personally. But if you check out their up-and-coming sleeves at legionsupplies.com, you will get a huge smile on your face, unless you have no heart. We have a Brainstorm here. Looks like a main phase Brainstorm, the best kind of Brainstorm. Looking for the fetchy fetch to make good things happen.
Yeah, he'd like to draw into a fetch so he can freshen up the top of his library. Erik knows he has potentially dodged the show and tell here.
And now, Michael Svien does have 9 fetch lands, 8 left in his deck with the 1 polluted Delta already used.
You wrote down his hand, right? Let me take a look.
Yeah. Currently, it's Force of Will, Academy Rector, Cavern of Souls, Surgical Extraction. But after this Brainstorm resolves, who knows?
Yeah, could be all shook up.
Some of it, at least. At least 2 of those cards could disappear.
All right, so Brainstorm finishes resolving for Michael Svien. And he finds a Tundra.
No fetch land. That's very sad, unless he's got a Ponder. Look at that grumpy face. Is he thinking about surgically extracting himself?
I don't know about that. Just wants the shuffle effect. Fails to find the others.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, you could do it.
Yeah.
Erik Carson, no land drop, no play, passes back.
Still see Force, Academy Rector. Can't tell what else is in there. Whoa, it's an earthquake. There's hurricanes down the southern parts of the country and earthquakes up here in Denver.
Yeah, it looks like we're actually all completely shifted here too. The camera has shifted to cut off the part of the top of the screen and show us a little more of the bottom there.
Michael says go. Back to Erik. If you're just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan here with Joey Pasco. This is the third match we've been seeing of this quarterfinals.
Yeah.
The other two were quick 2-0s. Belcher KOing Maverick and Reanimator KOing Rug Delver.
So
those two decks will face off against each other in the semis.
Very interesting.
I predict Reanimator.
So,
is this another surgical extraction?
This is surgical
from
extraction
Erik?
number 2 from Erik. This is the second one in the. He only has 2 in his 75.
Wow. Is he getting rid of brainstorms now?
He might very well be getting rid of brainstorms.
Well, you know what
not
Michael
sure.
could do? Michael could surgical extraction his own brainstorm in response, and then fail to find after he takes out the brainstorm from his yard.
Interesting play, and maybe that's what Michael's thinking about. You have a direct line to Glenn Jones, don't you, over there with the chat?
What's the
Who
question?
won the other match? Because it looks like it ended. And Shoebox may actually know that as well, but... Alright, so we're looking. Academy Rector, Surgical Extraction, Cavern of Souls. Omniscience now in hand. Force of Will, Force of Will. Cabal Therapy and Living Wish. Why are there 8 cards in his hand? Was that just after he drew, I guess? Must have been.
I think it was after he drew.
Yeah.
Or before he discarded.
Noah Fisher on Desolate Wizard on Twitter, mentioning he's already listening to self-proclaimed narcissists. Erik's band, pretty cool. Sounds like he is enjoying it.
Goodbye, brainstorms. And the word is in. It's not verified yet, but it appears that Esperblade by Richard Taylor Chambers has defeated Joe Lossett, but that is not verified yet.
Okay, I thought Glenn was actually watching that match, but I guess he was not watching that. He was doing coverage on another, or actually maybe just writing up this match for the written coverage.
He is in fact covering this for the written coverage.
I should have known that, considering he was talking about the.
Yep. That surgical was during the draw.
I should have known Glenn was on written coverage of this match, since he was talking about this match while we were on the others.
Yeah.
So Michael gets that shuffle effect I think he wanted.
Maybe a little late.
Maybe a little bit late, but...
Now, if this game progresses for any length of time, losing those two styles of filtering for his deck will actually be a really big blow to Michael's game. However, you've got to remember that Erik Carson, in order to make this happen, had to lose 2 full cards.
Now Michael's going to...
Michael hasn't lost any cards on this exchange.
Michael casting Surgical Extraction of his own, and I believe he targeted Brainstorm. I can't imagine Michael tried to extract the extraction.
Right.
We see Vendilion Click, Force of Will, Snapcaster Mage, and Sulfuric Vortex.
That's awesome.
Surgical on Brainstorm. You wrote down Michael's current hand, right?
Yes.
Because I know you had it already. Just wanted to take a look what we've got going on there.
Michael Sven's hand is now Wish, Omnipresence, Force of Will, Cavern of Souls, Academy Rector.
Did he not have Cabal Therapy in his hand?
He did not.
Almost positive I saw Cabal Therapy there.
Goodbye, brainstorms.
Wish, Omni, 3, 4, and yeah, he had 8 cards. There's 6. The 7th is the Surgical Extraction. The 8th was Cabal Therapy.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch the Cabal Therapy.
Yeah, and so that.
My bad.
No, it's all good. So I'm just thinking he plays Cavern here. He can cast the Academy Rector uncounterably off of Cavern. And if
There's nothing wrong with now that he knows Erik's hand, casting a Cabal Therapy with him. Well, he doesn't have a black other than that pedal though.
Yeah, I'm thinking why doesn't he just play Cavern, name Cleric, pay 4 mana, sacking the Lotus Petal, put the Academy Rector into play, pass the turn. Erik has that turn, that small window, because then Michael can cast and flash back the Cabal Therapy on his turn to remove, to get the Omniscience into play.
Quick correction: Joe lost it 1-2-0. He did not lose, so it's Miracles has moved onwards. So the winner of this match will be playing against Miracles.
Congratulations to Joe Lassette and the other 2 guys already into the semifinals. Grant Wilkinson and Branson Mitchell. So let's see if Michael goes ahead and plays the Rector this turn. He's at 17. I'm not sure what he has to fear here. He knows Erik's hand. He can cast the Rector uncounterably.
Well, he can't sack the Rector yet.
Right, but he has he can Cabal Therapy next turn. He can't do it this turn.
He can't do it next turn unless he gets a black source.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. The Lotus Petal.
Here we're going to see a Living Wish. I predict that he is going to get a Phyrexia Tower.
I like that choice. Is that available in the board?
Yep, there's a Phyrexian Tower in his board. Let's see what he gets. Phyrexian Tower.
Adrian Sullivan with the preordainings this weekend, I think.
That card won me about $6,000 once.
Seems like a good card.
It's okay. Here we go with a tower in play. There are 4 Wastelands in Erik Carson's deck, so he's got to be careful. He does not even lay it, just to protect it.
Yeah. I think that's the right play. You hold on to it and use it when you play it when you are actually going to use it.
Looks like he passes the turn back.
Yeah, this isn't looking good for Erik.
That was devastating. Michael Svien can now use this to cast a Cabal Therapy on this turn. He knows largely what's in Erik Carson's hand, and he can clear the way quite a bit.
You know what's even more? Oh,
he says not to.
Yeah. Like Erik has no brainstorms that he can even use to try to protect any cards.
Yep.
You know, so there's a bolt at the end of turn from Erik Carson. Erik needs to do something here because this kind of giving Michael the time to sculpt his sculpt his hand and his game plan while Erik kind of sits back. It's not so good. So Probe shows us
Omniscience.
Omniscience. What was that final card? Was that must have been the Cabal Therapy because it was foil, and I couldn't quite get a look at it. And Delver of Seekers for Erik Carson. He is going to try to have try to get some pressure on the board. Delver resolves.
Are we going to see the beginning? Cabal Therapy to clear the way? I don't mind it. Give it a go. Tap that awesome looking swamp. Look, there's a ghost on it.
Yeah, it's an altered swamp. Very cool. Cabal Therapy, there it is. And so, whatever he names,
he'll name Force of Will.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is whatever he names is almost irrelevant because now he plays that Phyrexian Tower. That adds colorless as well, right?
Yes.
Taps all 4 because I'm sure that Cavern is on Cleric. Plays the Rector, flashes back Therapy. Whether or not the Therapy resolves is irrelevant because the Rector has now gone to the graveyard. Michael should know that there's no way that Erik can interact with the graveyard in response to the exile trigger on Rector.
I want to just put a little bit of a damper on this parade, though.
Oh, don't dampen my parade.
Okay, there's the Force of Will from Erik Carson. The thing I'll say about this is that Michael Svien needs to actually have something to do once he gets Omniscience in play. He does not have a Living Wish.
He did use his Living
Yeah.
Wish already, yeah. Yeah, Omniscience isn't so fancy when it doesn't have anything
if you've
to
got
cast.
no
yeah.
actual spells to go.
You know, I'm so tunnel vision on resolving or getting the Omniscience into play.
And here we see Academy Rector with the Cavern. It's not counterable. And now I believe what we're going to do is we're going to probably see Cabal Therapy on Vendilion Click, or potentially Snapcaster Mage, or potentially Sulfuric Vortex.
Yeah, I think maybe he goes with Vortex here because of the Griselbrand
That's
that
pretty good.
he intends to probably play, and you know, that may be very relevant. So
And he searches through his library for the other Omniscience.
yeah, so far Michael's gone with the plan that I was suggesting. It was not the put the win on the table just yet, because Michael doesn't have anything extremely impressive to cast as far as we know. But the Omniscience has hit play.
And the Cabal Therapy will name... I think Sulfuric Vortex is a good call. It's nice.
Yeah, I go with Vortex.
He names, I think, Click, though.
Yeah.
And then if I were Michael, I would cast the other Omniscience right now so that a Red Elemental Blast wouldn't... There we go.
Yeah, just to be safe, I agree. A little backup Omniscience.
Now Michael needs to actually draw something to do.
Did not flip the Delver. It was
Now,
a mountain on top.
remember, he has no
Rough.
Brainstorms. He has no Ponders. That means he has to natural draw a Griselbrand, an Emrakul, or a Living Wish.
Yeah, so interesting how this is kind of playing out here. Omniscience is on the table in multiples. Nothing to do with them. And the way Erik Carson has set this up with surgical extractions is there's no easy way for Michael to draw into those giant threats.
And I think we're going to see... Wow. What's he going to do? Snapcaster?
Yeah.
And get what? Force of Will gets
Snapcaster,
cast
Force of Will
by
for free.
Michael. For free the nice way.
Yeah. He says...
And Michael drawing, hoping for something that's action. Any action?
I think it was the Misty that he drew.
Go. He's got nothing. Okay, Mr. Know-It-All. Let's see what you got. That's what I
The
thought.
deck's not called Know-It-All. It's called Know and Tell. He's got the know part.
What was the... was that a Brainstorm?
Delver flips.
What did it
couldn't
flip
have been
off of?
Brainstorm because
Well, it might
Michael,
have if he missed one.
I guess that's
It looked
possible.
like a Brainstorm to me. Maybe I'm wrong. I didn't see what it was.
Is it Spell Snare? I don't know why that's what it looked
It was
like. to me.
blue. That's all I got.
Yeah, we know he's got Vortex in hand, and
And he didn't tap out for it. Okay, what does that do? That means everything's free? Huh. Does that mean my days is really
let
bad?
me understand this again. Yeah.
Does that mean my days on my Spell Pierce are both really bad?
Yeah, pretty much. So
Cabal Therapy, naming
you-
Sulfuric Vortex.
naming the Vortex, and
That's my guess.
yeah, that was Days, I believe that was in his hand. We're gonna find out in just a second.
Bye-bye
Yeah,
Vortex.
it was
and
Days.
Days is a dead card. Practically dead. In for 3. Another blue card, is that correct? Nope, a red card. Looks like a lightning bolt. Oh,
Yeah,
Grim
it was
Lava
a Grim
Mancer, my
Lava
bad.
Mancer.
Force
And
of Will
another
from
Force
Michael.
of Will.
Any action here yet, Michael? No action.
All my spells are free, but they're not in my hand.
Okay, Poindexter, show me what you know.
This is actually pretty crazy. Delver of Secrets beating down through 2 copies of Omniscience.
All Michael needs to do is draw a spell that does something. And he doesn't
passes
have it.
back, not yet. Erik Carson.
Is that another burn
knocks-
spell? Is that a bolt? Is that
it's
it?
a bolt. And
Oh,
Erik Carson
my
takes
goodness.
the game. Wow. Holy moly.
Never give up. Never.
Yeah, seriously, that was impressive. You know, I don't know if that was the plan exactly, but Erik Carson helped out very much by the top of Michael's deck, and the fact that he had extracted the library manipulation spells that Michael relies on to find the bomb diggities.
Wow.
So wow, that was awesome. Very impressive. So
I wonder
Erik
if
Carson, go ahead.
now, I wonder if Michael Svien boarded in a Pernicious Deed as a Academy Rector target. Seems like it could be a possible useful card against Delver.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Whew.
So Erik gonna study the deck list. Is there
What's in
something I
there?
can do to
How do
to
you
fight
win? You got
this,
the
yeah.
combo. What happens then? Michael thinking about how he had it all and nothing happened. Oh, he looks upset.
He's just, I think I would be too. Like, I got the Omniscience on the table, played a second one to back it up.
This is one of the strengths of a card like just more Emeralds. Just Progenitus.
Well, he did burn his Living Wish early on, we saw, for the Phyrexian Tower, which admittedly was sort of necessary, but I guess if he would have been patient and held the wish, he would have drawn into a land. Of course, he doesn't know this when the land is coming, but he drew a Misty Rainforest shortly after the Omniscience was on the table. I know that.
Yeah, that's true.
Then maybe he doesn't. He didn't even use the tower for its ability, did he? He just used it for colorless. So it was just mana. It was just blank colorless land, really, for all intents and purposes in that particular game. And maybe just being patient would have been a better plan.
And now we're going to go to a game 3 with Michael Svien on the play.
This is just the quarterfinals. We've watched 3 matches in just the quarterfinals. We still got the semis coming up.
Yep.
Followed by the finals. We've got in the semis already. We've got Belcher. We've got Reanimator. Is that right?
Yeah, our
where's
top
our-
8
where-
is right
there it is.
here.
We're looking at the standing
Reanimator
order.
versus Belcher, and it's going to be Miracles versus the winner here.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a pretty impressive semis, no matter how you slice it. Both players setting up here for Game 3 of the quarterfinals here at the StarCityGames.com Legacy Open in Denver, Colorado. I'm Joey Pasco, joined in the booth by Adrian Sullivan.
Hello.
We've had an awesome weekend. We saw I was gonna say we saw Grixis in Standard. We saw Grixis in Legacy. You saw Grixis in Legacy.
That's right.
Was it? I know it was a camera 2 match. Uh-oh, we have a camera out. Looks like.
Oh my goodness.
Michael has somehow done something. Or is it? What is this about? Is that something you?
Mike, I think that what happened is that Michael summoned the powers of darkness in order to try to make this last game work out for him.
But we saw Grixis in Standard. So, but I missed the Grixis in Legacy. How'd that go? Was that it was Grixis versus Storm. I know the Storm deck won.
It was a slaughter.
It was a slaughter. Okay. Well, I guess that's that.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see that match. I know the other match I missed was Goblins versus Fairies, and that sounded like a slaughter as well. Goblins destroying Fairies, from what I heard. I was impressed to see Fairies actually in the room though, like just kind of classic Fairies with the addition of
Like
Legacy
turn
cards.
1 Visions and a turn 2 Blossom.
That's right. Shuffle them up.
Sadly, for that player anyway, destroyed by Goblins. Goblins, other than now that Gristlebrand is a card, Goblins used to be the king of card advantage in Legacy.
It's so crazy, yeah.
I think that now Gristlebrand has, come over that little hill and knocked him off good.
Elves does a pretty good card advantage impression with Glimpse of Nature.
I almost don't feel like that's card advantage though.
No?
It just kind of feels like, okay, I've won.
Sure.
Like.
Sure. I mean, doesn't Gristlebrand feel that way too?
Yeah, I get. Well, not exactly, because you draw the 7 and then you use them like to protect yourself, and then you do it again the next turn. I know. I guess it's semantics, really, right?
Exactly.
So we've got a tropical island of altered variety. It's fetched by a misty rainforest.
So both players kept their 7 as far as we know. I'm going to confirm that, but I believe that's the case. And a Ponder on turn 1 from Michael Svien. Glad to have those available still. are available here in Game 3 after having them extracted in Game 2. 1, 2, 3. What do you think? Are they any good? Yes, both players kept their opening 7.
Now, if you're Michael, do you actually change your ponders and your brainstorms around to try not to get caught with one in your hand?
That's a good point. I don't know. But just so you don't, just in case they're extracted.
We got Force of Will, Snapcaster Mage, and some other cards from Erik.
Gitaxian Probe from Erik, and we're going to see what Michael has. He's got Cabal Therapy. He's got Island, Polluted Delta,
Wow.
Underground Sea, Living Wish, Living Wish. That is a kind of a strange keep. I mean, he's got 2 tutors. He's got plenty of mana.
I like it. I mean, he can go
Actually,
turn
yeah.
to fetch out a green source and then Living Wish for something.
Yeah, Therapy Island, Polluted Delta, Underground Sea.
Or he can go slow and Cabal Therapy to begin with. We see a Grim Lavamancer from Erik. Seems a little slow for this matchup, but I mean, you gotta get some kind of clock going.
And looks like Michael pondering what he wants to do for this turn. Plays Polluted Delta, cracks it.
Whoa!
Uh-oh. We lost the signal.
Okay, we're gonna keep talking because I think that we're
Yeah.
still in the midst of broadcasting, but it looks like we had a
Some technical
issue
difficulties.
over there, and we've got our directors on it, so we'll try to get that cleared up as soon as possible. So what we saw a moment ago was a Cabal Therapy, a Gitaxian Probe from Erik Carson, who was playing the red-blue Delver deck, and he saw in his opponent's hand Cabal
There we
Therapy,
go.
Living Wish, Island, Polluted Delta, Underground Sea. And now, getting back to the camera that's now displaying, we can see that there is a swamp that has been put into play, and a Cabal Therapy. Not sure what was named, but we can see the other hand now.
Force of Will, because Force of Will just went away.
Yep, Force of Will is gone, but we still see Snapcaster, Ponder, Fetch, and Sulfur Cortex. Lotus Petal dropping into play from Michael's Van as well. Ponder from Erik, looking for something good to do. For those of you who are just joining us, this is the final match of the quarterfinals of the Legacy Tournament here for the StarCityGames.com Open Series here in Denver, Colorado. I'm Adrian Sullivan here with Joey Pasco, and you can see on the left that a Grim Lavamancer is trying to create a beatdown here. Of course, that's a pretty slow one.
Yeah, Lavamancer beatdown, not so impressive, but it'll get there eventually if given the time. We have a Wasteland from Erik. We'll take out the tropical island that Michael had. Yeah, the lost tropical island. Actually, all the tropical islands are
truly
lost.
lost now. Oh my
Yeah.
god, a fly. He knows the secret.
He does. Delver of Secrets trying to get in this match. Erik's fine with that. So an island from Michael and pass back. So Erik draws for the turn. Has a bolt now.
Okay, untap. Back to the Grim Lavamancer.
Lavamancer beat down again, or are we just gonna go ahead and burn something? Obviously burn Michael's face with the Lavamancer. Probably don't wanna use your Lavamancer on Academy Rector. That's for sure. Delver of Secrets, says Erik Carson.
I think that actually that we saw the fly come into the frame, and Erik was like, "Sounds good." Here we go.
Definitely. 4 cards in Erik's hand: Sulfuric Vortex, Snapcaster Mage, Misty Rainforest, and Bolt.
Michael Svien's hand, at least Wish Wish. And did he lay an island?
He played an island.
Okay,
and he played
Wish.
Underground Sea, so we know Wish Wish, and he played
Polluted
the
Delta.
Therapy. Polluted Delta.
There's the first attempt to wish. The wish is good. Will he wish for a Boseiju? Will he wish for a tower? A Cavern of Souls?
I think he may have played that Polluted Delta. I have it crossed off here on my my notes, but I don't remember. I'll just trust my notes though. There's an Academy Rector.
Going for the Rector.
That is going into Michael's hand here off of that Living Wish. So we know he now has Living Wish, Academy Rector.
Erik Carson untaps. Checking. Do I know the secret?
Doesn't appear that Delver knows the secret.
Maybe he does know the secret, but he doesn't want to show.
Maybe. I think that's unlikely though.
I wonder if that's ever happened.
What?
Not
Delver
showing because you don't want your opponent to know you drew a card. That seems unlikely, but Magic is a game of unlikely plays.
That's true. Misty Rainforest for Erik. Cracks it immediately. Cracks Scalding Tarn as well. His hand now Bolt, Sulfuric Vortex, and Secret card that did not flip Delver.
Secret.
Finds a pair of volcanic islands. And what has he got in store for us? He drew another Snapcaster Mage, so it's actually Snapcaster, Bolt, Sulfuric Vortex.
In they come. Take 4. Or, sorry, 2. He has not learned the secret yet. Only 2. Snapcaster, Bolt, Vortex.
Plays a Snapcaster.
Is that going to be a Ponder?
He is going to...
It is a Ponder. Oh, Pyro, Force of Will, Spell Pierce.
3 counters.
That is pretty awesome. I think you might put the Force of Will on top, followed by the Pyro, and then end it right there.
Yeah, I like that. See what he did. He did keep the Force.
And Michael's turn now. Michael's next few turns are pretty scary. There's a Cavern, so that Force of Will is not going to stop the Rector. There's a Cabal Therapy in the yard for Michael. Oh boy.
This is
bad news bears for Erik Carson.
Yeah, so...
what's he going to name?
Academy Rector comes down.
I would name
Cabal
Force of Will if I were Michael.
Immediately cast Flashback in the Graveyard.
Maybe
and,
I would name Blast, but I name what I fear. I never try to guess what they have. I name what I fear.
So, no...
Omniscience is going to be in play before this therapy has to name anything.
Yeah,
though.
no response to the Exile trigger for Academy Rector, and that's going to allow Michael to tutor his library. And we'll see, does he go for Omniscience? Does he go for the...
Pernicious Deed?
Pernicious Deed, as you mentioned.
I think unless his hand is not very good, he's going to go for Omniscience.
I agree, but he also doesn't have access to... oh, well, his access to green mana is irrelevant. He doesn't have to cast the spell.
Omniscience it is. All spells are free for Michael.
Alright, so... what does Cavern... I'm sorry, what does Therapy name? He names Force of Will. And we see the Bolt, the Snapcaster, and the Sulfuric Vortex.
What else are you going to do, Michael? You can do anything that you can afford.
Anything that's in your hand.
Pardon
really
me, anything you can, yeah.
You can afford anything.
And there it is. Living Wish for Emrakul. Emrakul for your face.
Yeah, I think that is the match.
Oh, yep.
There are cast for free, and
no cards, I think, that Erik can do anything about that. And Eric's like, look at what I had coming. Oh, if only.
Yeah.
That is
so
it.
Michael Svien, knowing and telling his way all the way into the semifinals today, and we're gonna see just how far he can take it.